This show is brought to you by Clicket or Ticket and Netflix. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 6 of Food Mob, the interactive cooking show. Now we got a real treat for you today. Due to popular demand, we are showing you how to make pizzas. Loads of requests came in when we asked what people wanted to see, and the overriding majority was pizzas. We're going to do 2 or 3 different flavors based on what was discussed in our forums. A lot of suggestions came through there, so we are listening to you guys. We're going to cook those. We're also going to show you how to cook perfect scrambled eggs. Remember, poached egg in episode 1 went down really well. We're going to sort of expand our repertoire and go to scrambled eggs today. Now, real heat wave here in Ireland. The ovens are on. Heat wave for us is about 25 degrees, 50, what's that in American temperatures? 80? About 80 degrees. So that's a heat wave for us. We're all suffering. Aaron's sweating behind the camera. I'm going to start off, as always, by talking about some of the submissions from last week. So some really, really good photos came in last week. First one is from Chef Nee, so Sheffne. They've done a lovely lemon and garlic prawn pasta that we did in the show last week. You can see they've got a big dollop of maybe sour cream or something on top. That's a little bit of them freestyling themselves and adding their own stuff. Next one, Perfect Steak, which is from a couple of weeks back, submitted by Scott Stamil. And I have to say, out of all the perfect steaks I've seen so far, that is the best one, far and away. Lovely big juicy piece of meat, nice wedges, salad. He's followed it to the T absolutely perfectly. The next one, lemon and garlic prawn pasta from Zach Evers. You can see he's done the little pasta there, like linguine, bit of garlic bread on there, some prawns, really, really nice. Lots of people from last week were saying that they didn't like prawns. What could they put instead of prawns? Loads of people asking on Twitter. I was just saying substitute it for chicken, a bit of pork, whatever it is your favorite meat is. For some reason, a lot of people really don't like shellfish. Another one there, prawn pasta from Thomas Art. He's done the little bruschettas alongside as well. He's actually replicated it perfectly, so top marks there to Thomas. Couple of pictures on Twitter, twit pics sent in by Sloshed again, good username. That's probably your username, Aaron, is it? Sloshed again has done some burgers, really, really nice there with wedges, so he's done those absolutely spot on, or she, I'm not sure. Tony Celestino, a couple of portions of garlic bread there, a bit of a sort of a miserly looking portion of dinner there. I hope you had someone else to go with that. He's cooked the garlic bread, looks very nice. And the last one is a blog post from a blog called The Other McBrides. They've actually cooked a couple of times, really nice. He's put the laptop, you can see, beside the prawns that he's cooked there. He did another blog post today, which I don't have the link for, but he's basically cooking along and blogging about it. Really, really cool. Get your interactive stuff coming in. That's what we want to see more of. Now, this week, pizza. So before we do anything, we're going to make the dough because that takes a little bit of time to set. Pizza probably seems really, really scary. Something that you only have in restaurants. You buy takeaway, you get frozen in the shop. I'm going to show you today that that should not be the case at all. And I was really surprised that pizza was the one thing that people asked for so much. What would you guys want to cook if you could see anything cooked on the show, guys?
Pizza's pretty good.
Yeah, I think pizza would be
Tough to do, like.
What is it about pizza that gets you just so excited? It's pizza. Great wisdom once again from the guys. Olive oil. Now I'm going to add in water, and what's really important, just got to wait for it to sort of warm up. You want to get it to room temperature. Okay, so you want to get the water up to room temperature because we're going to add yeast into it. Now yeast is something that you find in beer and breads and all sorts of stuff like that. And what it does is once it combines with that hot water, the yeast starts working and it starts growing, and that's what's going to make your dough rise, which is very important if you want a nice dough. In it goes, using dried yeast today. You could of course use fresh yeast, just use twice as much if you're using fresh yeast. Stir it together, and basically the water should be sort of warm to the touch, so you just want to put your little finger in there, basically like a baby's bath, or nice sort of tempered water. If it's too hot, what'll happen is the yeast will die. Basically it'll hit the hot water, it's too hot, some sort of little chemical reaction which somebody in the forums will be able to explain, and it'll die. So nice tempered water. Could actually use cold water, but it's a lot slower if you were sort of doing it overnight or something like that. So to our flour, a little bit of salt, A little bit of sugar. So the salt actually gives it a little bit of sort of seasoning. The sugar will actually work with the yeast and speed up that sort of rising process as well. So in it goes. And it's important not to put all the water in first go. Just start to bring it together. What would you guys have on your pizza toppings if you could have anything at all? Meat? Everybody's
Yeah, I think, well, you know, something with beef and pepperoni.
Beef and pepperoni.
I think chorizo along.
Chorizo?
Yeah, as much meat as possible.
Okay. So loads of meat. It seems to be that that's exactly what everybody was saying in the forums as well.
You don't want a veggie pizza. I don't want a veggie pizza.
No veggie pizzas?
What's up with the pineapple on a pizza as well? That's just
I
weird.
love
Don't
pineapple.
like pineapple?
I'd eat pineapple on a pizza, I would.
You would you?
I would, yeah. I'd eat more pineapple than anything else on a pizza.
Loads of people actually writing in for the pineapple. The reason I didn't put it on is ham and pineapple, really popular pizza, but I just find that anytime I've done that, people give out so much stink. So you get like real Italians coming along and they're like, what they put the pineapple on the pizza, and they go crazy. So it's either like really, really liked or completely disliked. I don't mind it actually. I think it's quite tasty. If you like it and it's tasty, there's nothing wrong with it. Right, pizza dough. You can see that I'm starting to knead it. You need to get really stuck into this, and anytime you make bread or dough, if you haven't done this before, it's incredibly therapeutic. A tough day at work, back from the office, and just do this and you'll feel so much better. If you're thinking about your boss, or you're thinking about, I don't know, girlfriend who's cheated on you, bang! Just you really want to hit it as hard as you can, really get stuck in, because you'll get a better end product that way. Right, so just grab up all those little pieces. See the way I'm just rolling it across the bench. Make sure your bench is incredibly clean, your hands are clean. Lots of people in the forum still telling us to watch our hygiene, incredibly important. So just bring that together, nice and smooth. And you want to do that for about 6 or 7 minutes. I'm not actually going to do all that now because the show would last for about 2 hours then. But until it becomes really nice and smooth, and in good old-fashioned TV style, here's one that I made earlier. And what I've actually done is I've actually let it rise for about 20 minutes, half an hour, and you can see that it's nice and sort of aerated, smooth, really, really nice dough. And that's ready to make a pizza with. Now there's a couple of little things we have to do, like making our sauce, but before we do that, we're going to tell you about our first sponsor this week, which is Clicket or Ticket. So Clicket or Ticket, guys, is actually more than a sponsor. Really, really honoured to have those guys on board because it's about saving lives. Really, really simple way of doing that, and that's simply to buckle up. Couple of stats. This campaign running over a few weeks, it really is important over the summer to just think about buckling up. And if I just read these to you, you can see just how important that is. Among passenger vehicle occupants 25 to 34 who were killed in crashes, 66% were not buckled up. So that's 2/3 of people who don't buckle up in crashes that are dying. Men are more likely than women to not buckle up. This is especially true of young men who probably think that it's cool not to buckle up or it'll be grand in the long run, nothing's going to happen to them. The stats are here. More and more people are dying because they don't buckle up. It's a 2-second thing to do, really takes no time at all, and it's very, very important. So please, please listen to that advice and check out Clicket or Ticket. Very good campaign. Now, moving on to our pizza. The dough's ready, didn't take very long to make whatsoever. Now the key, in my opinion, is a good tomato sauce. If you don't have a good tomato sauce, your pizza is going nowhere. So good tin tomatoes, nice Italian brand. I'd say that's very important to go down to the supermarket and get a good tin tomato. I'm just using whole plum tomatoes. Crushing my garlic. I don't know if you saw that actually, a little tip for you for peeling garlic, which not a lot of people know. A lot of people come along and they've got knives and presses and stuff. Just go bang. And if you take that off in one go, there's your garlic, okay? So really, really simple. A lot of people actually talking about that, saying they wanted more tips. Little tips were helpful. A lot of people in the forums and stuff asking about knives and how to sharpen them and stuff like that. So we're definitely going to do an episode on knives very soon. Not a whole episode, but a few tips. Okay, roughly chopped garlic. Turn your heat onto a medium temperature. Generous glug of olive oil. And then pop your garlic in there. Now, I really did want to say thanks to a couple of people in the forums. As I was saying, these recipes, the pizza ideas, have all come from the forums this week. They're an incredibly active place to sort of engage with the show. If you look down beneath, if you're on Revision 3, you'll see a link to the forums to discuss. There's a few people in there who answer questions nearly as much as I do. I'm in there every day. VPR, Frankie the Waffle, Master Chef, Smack 300 and Token User are in there all the time answering questions that people have, really random stuff about best knives to use, best Teflon pans to use, how to cook this, how to cook that. They're in there giving really long, detailed answers, and I really want to thank those guys and let you guys know about that it's a great resource to tap into there and go in and answer some questions and get involved. Right, garlic coming up to the simmer, and all I'm going to do then is add my plum tomatoes, and we're just going to simmer that for about 7, 8, 9 minutes until it breaks down and gets nice and fragrant. And a tomato sauce is just that simple, really, really flavoursome, nice. Actually, one more little thing, fresh oregano, which I've got in the garden. I'd love to say that we grew this from scratch, but we didn't, bought it. Although that is something that somebody else was asking, is how to grow herbs and stuff like that in your kitchen. So I think that's something we'll do pretty soon. Right, sauce is on, pizza dough's ready. Let's make a couple of toppings. Meat for the boys. Hungry?
Starving.
We are gonna fry up some chicken first of all. So, chicken onto the chopping board. And just using our knife, we're actually gonna just very thinly slice it up. What have you guys been eating this week? Anything nice?
Do you know what? I actually cooked the perfect burger.
That's right, actually. Aaron, if you look on Twitter, I think it is. Did you do a picture? No.
I did take a
Oh, you
picture.
did?
Yeah, I did it on a barbecue, and they tasted amazing in the end, but we lost a lot of meat in the process because they didn't actually.
Was the barbecue
Clump
not
together.
hot enough?
Do you know what? It probably wasn't. It's not the best barbecue, but they tasted amazing.
Did they?
And we did wedges as well.
Very good. I've seen, actually, out of everything that we've been doing on the show, washing my hands, really important after the chicken. After everything we've done on the show, I think the wedges are the sort of number one. Probably because they're
Easy, and they're so tasty.
Yeah, I made them actually.
Did you make them?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You
could.
I did.
Where's your evidence? You didn't take a picture.
I didn't think I ate it all. It was actually pretty good. And just by Cajun seasoning is just the most important thing.
I absolutely laced it with Cajun.
And oil as well, loads of oil, just to stick.
So, we're going to give this chicken a real lift and a bite. So a little bit of chili powder. Do you like a bit of spice on your pizza? A bit of...
Good kick.
And a little bit, if I can find them, a little bit of Cajun seasoning. Okay, so on that goes. Very much actually like the fajitas. Do you remember the fajitas we made a couple of weeks ago? Same sort of flavors. A little bit of oil and then a generous bit of salt. Now, using my tongs, I'm just going to toss that up. Very, very important, obviously, that we wash the chopping board now in a second. Actually, as that's cooking, I'm going to answer another question now that it just pops into my head. A lot of people in the forums asking me about my own background and where I started to learn how to cook and how long I've been cooking for, etc. I'm cooking for 12 years now. And actually, a few years ago, I was working on big private yachts. So basically cooking for billionaires as their private chef. And I used to travel all around the world on their private jets and in their yachts, cooking for them. There's a couple of pictures, actually, Aaron, if you want to put up a picture of a couple of the boats here, one called Octopus and one called Tatouche, that I used to work on. And it was a fantastic lifestyle. Saw the world, cooking really luxurious ingredients that we used to actually fly food in from all over the world. So the best mozzarellas from Italy, the best fish from Tahiti, all over. So did that for a few years and then moved back to Ireland. But great lifestyle. So that's obviously cooked in a few restaurants, etc. as well. Now, just a very important tip, flip your chopping board over so it's clean on the other side. There's no chicken mess on there. We're getting rid of our tongs. And we're just going to cook that gently for a few minutes. A couple of the other toppings that I have today. Smoked salmon. Not everybody was mad about the prawns last week because they didn't like seafood or shellfish. Still a very sort of passionate minority who do. So we're going to do a smoked salmon pizza today. So that's ready to go. mozzarella. So I've got mozzarella di bufalo, right? This is real good mozzarella. It comes in the bags in the supermarket. You'll see it in water type liquid. Worth spending a little bit extra because along with the tomato sauce, this is what's going to make your pizza for you. So it's a case of sort of getting a little production line ready now. So made a bit of space. We're going to get ourselves a little sort of production line where we can roll out our pizzas. First thing I want to do there is just dust it with flour. Now a brilliant competition for you this week. We got tons of goodies to give away. Well, we got one goodie to give away, but it's a really good goodie, if that makes any sense. We're giving away a brilliant Nokia Booklet 3G, which is an absolutely cool little device. It's a tiny little notebook. What sort of stuff does it do, Rob? It's 3G enabled.
It is Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, 3G, 12 hours battery life, so it's going to last for ages and ages and ages. And it operates on Windows 7.
Brilliant. And if you've seen these, I've seen a few of the guys on Dig Nation and a few guys here actually using them. They're tiny little booklets. Really cool. Chilly. Really cool, very portable, and just all round brilliant prize. Very simple way of winning that prize. We have a few social profiles: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. All you have to do is follow us on one of those. So it's facebook.com/foodmob. You can subscribe to us on youtube.com/foodmob, or twitter.com/foodmobtv. Any one of those three profiles, become a subscriber, become a fan, or follow us on Twitter. We're going to pick one random person to win that amazing prize.
And if you follow on all three, you've got 3 chances.
Yeah, if you follow all three, you've got 3 chances. So go and follow all 3 and you could be in with a chance to win a pretty damn cool prize. Pizza dough, as I've been telling you about the prize. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to beat it out into sort of a square shape like that, and then I'm going to start using my my rolling pin. Quick question, guys. Thin and crispy or nice big thick pizzas? Thin? All thin here. So everybody says thin here. I'm not a big fan of the sort of Pizza Hut type deep pan crust, like stuffed crust, all that stuff. I don't think it's how pizzas are really meant to be made. Okay, I'm going to cut that in 2. So we've got 2 pizzas. We're going thin and crispy today. So there's number 1, there's number 2. You can see my chicken cooking away there at the same time. Make sure to keep the photos coming in, guys. Loads of, I just love looking through Flickr and through my Twitter stream. And if you ever want to ask us any questions, Food Mob on Twitter, or even my own one, Niall Harbison on Twitter, will answer the questions pretty much as soon as I can. The only time I don't answer them is at night time when I'm asleep, but I'll answer them first thing in the morning. And it's great getting the interaction on there. I really do enjoy seeing what people are cooking. People have got stuck on recipes, asking questions. I think it's a really cool way of interacting. 2 pizza doughs done. Couldn't be any simpler, really. I don't see why anybody at home wouldn't make their own pizza. Dust them up with a bit of flour so as it doesn't stick. And then just whack your pizza dough. You can be quite sort of, you don't have to be gentle. I'm kind of just flipping it around. On that goes number 1. Number 2. At this stage, chicken, you can see is cooked all the way through. That's only taken a couple of minutes. Chili flavor coming off that. Spectacular. Right, so sauce is 90% ready. All I'm going to do, a lot of people at this stage would sort of blend it with that blender thing. I don't think it really needs that. You can see the tomatoes have broken down. Pizzas are about being rustic and sort of, you know, country food. I've been down to Italy, down to Napoli and Naples, where they actually, where pizza comes from. They cost like $3 or $4 for a pizza. It's just like bread, really good tomato sauce, nice mozzarella and basil. That's all they do, and it's absolutely amazing. So, tomato sauce. Smell that, Rob. Come over here and smell this. First, put your nose in there and smell the chili. And then smell the rich garlic off that.
That's really, really strong.
Nice, isn't it?
It actually stings it off a little bit.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah. So, on that goes, and then just spread it. Kind of generous with the sauce. You want it like really tucking into all those corners. I think it's a brilliant thing to do if you invite your mates over to watch a match, something like that. Crack open a few beers, using our get the beer cold fast trick. Whack out the pizzas in the center of the table. Your mates are gonna love you. Okay. Chicken, completely cooked. Even at this stage, if it wasn't completely cooked and there was a tiny little bit of pink in there somewhere, it wouldn't be the end of the world because these are gonna go into the oven. Now, okay, so pieces of chicken on there really nicely. You can see nice sort of even distribution of meat, chicken. The next thing that we're going to add to our pan, so we've got it back on a nice big high heat, and I'm just going to add a few spoonfuls of mince. Now what I want to do with this is sort of just cook it out a tiny little bit, so as it's got those little pieces of mince that you get on top of a pizza sometimes. So into that, a little tiny bit of salt, a little bit of our chili powder. Wow, a lot of chili powder. That'll blow your heads off, guys. Good. Now, spread that around evenly. That shouldn't take more than about a minute to cook. Even if it's not cooked the whole way through, we're not too bothered. Our second pizza, smoked salmon, evenly spread around. Good Irish smoked salmon is always the best. Again, for you people who don't like fish, swap it out for some grilled chicken, maybe, what else could you have on them? Bit of pork, bit of duck. Get creative. Yeah, duck on a pizza is real good. If you're stuck for any sort of toppings for your pizza, go into the forums, because the guys in there's a huge thread where everybody was discussing what they'd put on there. There's some crazy stuff, some stuff that I would nearly puke if I made, but we didn't make those. Okay, next up I've got goat's cheese. Really nice, strong, creamy cheese. Just pop it evenly around that smoked salmon. You're not going to have this one, Aaron. No, that's wrong. Hate smoked salmon, or hate salmon and cheese?
Well, goat's cheese, not a big fan of.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
You like goat's cheese?
Yeah.
So your pizza roll?
Well, I want some of the other one as
No,
well.
you can't have any of that.
I will fight you.
I'm not kidding.
Look at the meat starting to cook up. Can you see that, Aaron? So,
You're putting that on the chicken one,
yeah. So, nearly cooked. Really, really simple little thing to do. Onto my smoked salmon one, I'm just going to add in some little bits of spinach.
Aren't you getting a raw deal there, Rob? Spinach, goat's cheese,
Spinach
and
is
salmon.
amazing with goat's cheese.
Oh, man.
Feta cheese or goat's cheese mixed with spinach and oh, you're laughing.
You've got the female option there.
The female option. Right, minced beef, lovely cooked. Tiny little bit red still, but that's going to cook out in the oven, so don't worry about that. Spread it around evenly. Don't be scared of sort of piling it up on there. Lovely. Looks tasty, eh? Now, last thing and most importantly, like I was saying, is our mozzarella. Fresh mozzarella. See the way it just sort of crumbles in your hands? That is what you're looking for. It makes all the difference. So all the way around your pizza. I'm going to put the majority of it on it, this meat one, because the other one's got the goat cheese on it already. We'll definitely go with a bit on here, but doesn't quite need as much. So pile it up. Right. Wipe my hands. Into the oven, real hot oven, 200 degrees centigrade, 400 degrees Fahrenheit. They shouldn't take that long, maybe 10, 12 minutes until they get nice and golden brown. In they go. A lot of people in the forums actually talking about stones. You can use little stones for cooking your pizzas. Just doing a nice big line of flour. I shouldn't say that, should I?
No, you didn't.
So just cleaning up my flour.
That is flour.
It is flour. Cleaning that up. Yeah, a lot of people use stones. Talking about stones. What is a stone for your pizza? It's basically a stone that you pop into the oven. It gets really, really, really hot, and then you cook your pizza on top. Brilliant. I haven't used it today because I don't want to sort of intimidate people who don't know what they are. We're just doing it on simple trays in the oven. Won't get quite as crispy, but it'll still be absolutely gorgeous. If you do use a stone, nothing wrong with that. Good choice. Now, those pizzas should take about 6 or 7 minutes. In that time, I'm going to tell you about our next sponsor, which is Netflix. So our second sponsor of the day, Netflix. Netflix delivers movies directly to your home, saving you time, money, and hassle. As a Netflix Unlimited member, you get DVDs by mail in about 1 business day. 1 business day, that's pretty fast. Plus you can instantly watch thousands of TV episodes and movies streamed directly to your PC, Mac, or right to your TV via a Netflix-ready device like the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and the Nintendo Wii console. Second sponsor, it'd be great if you could support the show. I'm really struggling with that. Support the show this week and go to netflix.com/foodmob where there's a load of special offers that you can go and see there with discount codes, etc. Great way of watching movies, cheap and efficient. Right, moving on to our tip of the day. Pizzas are still in the oven. Normally you'd see our finished dish at this stage, but we're going to take them both out at the same time this week because pizzas take a little bit longer. Perfect scrambled eggs. So many times I go to hotels, restaurants, wherever it is you go and get your breakfast, and you get dried up cardboard like, what's that stuff called? Sandust? Sawdust? Sawdust. Sandust. Dried up sandust as scrambled eggs. Really, really terrible. People seem to really cook the crap out of them for some reason. And I don't, yeah, exactly. And it comes out and like you could slap the eggs off the. And
it's always cold as well. That's the other problem.
Yeah. Exactly. So I want to show you, like the poached egg, just how simple it is, right? So 3 eggs in there, little pot. Now, to make it sort of nice and A, tasty, B, nice and sort of moist and succulent, a little bit of butter and a little bit of milk. If you want it to be sort of doubly luxurious and it's the weekend and you wanted a treat, maybe add a little double cream in there because that'll make them even nicer, but we're staying a little bit healthy today. So bring that butter and milk up to the boil. That's what's called an emulsion. So those two are going to sort of form the base of our scrambled eggs, and that's what's going to give it that little bit of moisture and stop it from drying up into sawdust. Right, that's starting to come together. Can you see that in there? It's just starting to come to the boil. How good do the pizzas smell? Pretty good. So Aaron's going to be in charge of tasting the scrambled eggs and we're all going to have the pizza.
Yeah, that's what the deal was.
Nobody wants the scrambled eggs. Okay, so start just whisking those together. Now the important thing is, I'm getting rid of the whisk at this stage and I'm going to change over to a spatula. Reason I'm doing that is because when you whisk the eggs, what happens is you sort of break down all the little stuff in there, a real technical term. You break down all the parts of the egg and you end up with those sort of like really dry little eggs. So we're going to use a spatula and just sort of fold them together. Nice low, medium temperature and just constantly stirring. Now the key here is I'm going to get some heat into them. So up they come to the heat and then I'm just going to pull them off and stir them again. And what that does is the eggs will cook really, really fast. If they cook too fast, they'll dry out as well. So just on the heat, let them come together for about 10-15 seconds. And you can see them starting to cook already. And then off the heat. Just on the heat. And then we'll take them off. And the key is taking the eggs off at the right time. If you leave them on too long, they're going to keep cooking. Even after it looks like they're ready, they'll just keep cooking because there's so much heat in there and that's how they'll overcook. So off again. It's like literally a 90-second process. You want to have your plate ready to serve them, and you'll have noticed also that I haven't seasoned the eggs yet. Reason for that is the sort of salt will break the eggs down and not give them a very nice texture, so we want to season with salt at the very, very end. So eggs starting to come together, and you can see that they're just starting to solidify now. See that way that's real runny in there, Rob? That's the moment that you want to take them off the heat, right? Doesn't look like they're cooked in any way, still like blobby, but I guarantee you there's enough heat left in there to cook those. So at this stage, a little bit of salt, not too much salt because it's very easy to over season the eggs. And then a last little swoosh around into our nice bowl. And you can see that lovely consistency that they are. They're not in any way dried out. They're really nice and sort of perfect texture that's got a nice little bite in them. They're just cooked, but not too runny. A little bit of parsley on top to make them look pretty. And that is how you cook the perfect scrambled eggs. Rob, try those. See what you think. Not overcooked in any way.
This is part of the deal. I get pizza.
How do those taste?
You can really taste the butter actually, it's lovely.
Yeah, not dry in any way, are they? So that's how you cook perfect scrambled eggs. Now, how really was the sideshow? Because if I look into the oven, I think it's the moment that we've all been waiting for, the pizzas. Whew. Wow, check that out. Smells absolutely amazing. Look at those. I know you're dying to get stuck in. I'm just gonna do one more little thing.
Yeah, sit down, Robbie.
I'll just chop the parsley real slowly. Guys are real hungry. I'm not surprised. Parsley on top of that one. Actually, one more little thing that I might do is just season them up a tiny little bit. Little tiny bit of salt, just tiny amount. Okay, so basically we're just gonna cut that straight down the middle. And I don't think there's any point really having big complicated fancy seating arrangements or napkins or anything like that. You just want to grab a big piece of your pizza. Look at that. How good is that? 1, 2, 3. Really nice, you can hear it actually, crunchy base. And we're just going to serve it up straight away. Salmon pizza for Aaron. Our meat lovers is looking just absolutely delicious. Tiny little bit stuck to the tray because it's nice and crispy. That's exactly what you're looking for. Just find a little edge where you can pop that in underneath and it comes off, you see, in one big go. Over that side there and just cut it in 4. Now don't forget to take photos, upload them to places like Flickr. We've got our group on there. Share stuff on Twitter, twitter.com/foodmob. Oh, that's hot. 2 lovely pizzas. It's been a longer episode than normal because the pizzas take quite a long time to cook, but you can see they're absolutely worth it. Get stuck in and see what you think, guys. Straight into the meat.
Yeah, what are you doing?
So as the guys get stuck in, you can see it's absolutely gorgeous. What do you think? Good? Aaron's trying to get it into his mouth. He can't get it in fast enough. That's pretty much it for the show this week. Gorgeous pizzas, all decided by the users in the forums and different platforms that we use. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Food Mob. See you next week.